welcome back to another episode of PBJ. I'm Jasmine. We're at the Devil's Ivy in Denver, Colorado. It's kind of in the Highlands area, kind of close to Tennyson Street. But we're gonna go check it out with the owner and maybe pick up a plant. Well, we're here with David at your plant shop, the Devil's Ivy. I saw that you guys opened in 2023.
Yes, September of 2023.
Oh, wow.
About a year and a half.
How is that? Like a year and a half in, like how does it feel just seeing it like in full swing?
It feels great. It has been a lot of fun. It's something I have wanted to do for a long time, and the opportunity presented itself, and didn't have a chance to look back on it. It's just been a lot of fun.
Are you from Denver?
I am not. I'm from Indiana originally, but I've lived in Colorado for 15 years.
Oh, so you're basically a native.
Yeah, I actually live a block away, so I have lived in this neighborhood for 6 years. I just love this area, and I feel really lucky because a lot of the residents who live here really like living here, so I get a lot of support from the neighborhood, and it's a place I've always loved, so it's nice to be able to be like part of the community in this way now.
Yeah, that is so neat. How did you get into plants? Have you just always done it?
I actually, like I said, I do live really close, and there was a plant store here before. And when I moved in, I don't think I had any plants, and I got to know that owner really well. I always joke I was the reason she could retire because I was in here all the time. And then when she did decide to retire, she asked if I would want to take over the shop. So she kind of taught me everything I know, and then she still helps me out in here whenever I need a day off or have something to do.
That is so lovely. So do you run it basically by yourself?
Yeah, I am here. She covers for me every Thursday now, but every other day I am here from 10 to 6.
Was it called the Devil's Ivy before this?
No, it was called Vessel. It was a really similar idea, just in terms of plants and home goods and all sorts of stuff. My take on it, I just like a lot of color. So that was kind of what I brought in. I really like colorful art and plants all throughout. So I put a bunch of grow lights in so I could have plants all over, even without the natural light. So
that's one thing that drew me towards your Instagram. Because I was like, it is just so it's just so colorful and just so fun and beautiful, and just it brings so much joy just to the viewer. So you've definitely done a great job.
I appreciate it.
Were you into social media before that Instagram page?
No, that is probably the one part of running a store I don't like. I am not social media savvy. I was in the wedding industry before, so I always felt really comfortable with making beautiful spaces and stuff like that. And I've always liked doing just home decor for myself. I'm not a professional by any means, but it's just something I enjoy. So being able to bring that into the store along with the plant knowledge I picked up has been a really fun thing. So
what is content creation like? It is something that I'm obviously learning, and it's not easy. Yeah, I don't know. What was that journey like, I guess? Yeah.
I will say I was very lucky. I think in the wedding industry, there's a lot of small business owners that I knew personally that I was able to not only look at their social media, but talk to them directly and kind of ask tips and stuff like that. It's definitely not my forte, but taking pictures of the beautiful things around here. And so that's really easy. I post every day, which kind of feels spammy, but it brings people in. People are I came in because I saw this on your Instagram today and I wanted to come in. So I do that, and it's something I kind of set out a schedule of sorts for myself. And so it's, there's definitely some creativity there, but it's less about the creativity and just more about the timeline and trying to make sure I'm on top of it and have consistent social media presence.
That's fair. That's something that I'm trying to figure out, because it's when you work, you're in the shop full time. Or when I'm working full time, it's hard to be oh, I haven't posted today or whatever. You're damn, I'm not gonna get to it. So, well, I see that you got a lot of home goods.
Yes.
Where do you source this? What was it already kind of home goodsy?
Yes and no. Definitely home goods, kitchenware, stuff like that before. Just a totally different style. I did. Again, it was a shop I really loved, so I did keep a lot of the larger pieces and the display items. So anyone who had been in here before recognizes that, and they'll say that when they come in. But in terms of sourcing, there is an online marketplace that's similar to an Etsy, where you can find small businesses around the country and support them. So I'd say about half the stuff in here is small business. I try and do a lot of local. So there's probably 20 artists I work with off the top of my head, between the baker who makes the cookies and stickers and earrings, stuff like that.
I've seen these. These are adorable.
Yeah, that's actually a woman who lives in Jeff Park. So she's just right here. So I get a lot of people coming in, and it's really just stuff that catches my eye and I really like. And then I've also gone to a few markets in Vegas and just kind of seen what products are. And that's a nice way to kind of test the quality and see, what I might want to bring in for the new season.
Yeah. Do you stay connected with like other local plant shops in the area or like plant boutiques that have similar things? Or is it kind of like, what is
that is something I actually love about like the Denver plant community. I think it's like pretty supportive. I will say I love plants and I love the way they can like make a room feel, but my specialty is by no means like rare plants. Like there might be a few in here, but it's because they got my eye, not because I'm like going to seek them out. And there are places, the bronze petal, just like a bunch of them around that I will send people to if they have an eye for something. I know the plant room just down the street, like he carries a lot of great stuff. So I love sending people there. I feel like sometimes people will buy a plant somewhere like there and they're like, yeah, he has great pots. And like, so I'll get somebody who just bought a plant from another plant store
that is so
in
cool.
here. So yeah, I have found it's really nice to like stay connected. And I will say one reason I wanted to open a shop is I am a shopper. I love shopping. So like on my days off, I am like around other shops, like chatting with owners and like word shop over on Second is like one of my favorites. So yeah, I'm kind of like all over the place on my days off. And I just love getting to know other owners and sending people places for things I might not. Like, even a lot of us source from like greenhouses. There's some family owned greenhouses in the area where we like go in person and pick out plants. So I'll see people in there. I saw like the owner of Tiger Lily Goods in there when I was in there on Thursday, so like you can see them that way. So even though I'm in the store a lot, like social media connects us as well as just like supporting each other and like seeing each other out, like sourcing.
What is one of the nurseries that you do go to?
The two main ones I go to are Calabrese and the Plant Ranch.
Okay.
I like both of those companies that I can't speak highly of. They bring in great quality products, they're really helpful, and it's honestly just like a really cool place to go like see stuff, and it's like a beautiful atmosphere over there.
I just went to Tagawa Gardens.
Okay, yeah.
It is so cute in there. I was like, wow, it's lovely.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was so fun, but it is cute because they have like the picture like outside.
Yeah, when I source, because it's just, I try to do it before I open on like Wednesdays, so Wednesday's usually my restock day, and Calabrese and the Plant Ranch are like on the same road, so it's like easy. I like go to like one to the other and like load up my car and then bring it all back here before I open.
What is turnover for plants like here? Like, how do you manage that?
I would say I like to keep it really stocked because I think that just like creates a really nice atmosphere. I have a lot of turnover on plants, honestly. Like I sell a lot of big plants. I think this area gets a lot of turnover, so I get a lot of people moving in and they're like, I have a space to fill. And so I mean, even on weekdays it's pretty busy, but weekends I think I probably sell like 60 to 70 plants a day between like big and small plants.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is so cool. What would you say is like one of your most favorite areas in the shop?
So this is a piece that the previous owner had. It was just a filing cabinet and she used it for storage, and the second I saw it I just was like, I love the idea of filling it with plants.
Yeah, it's super cute.
We're also named after a golden pothos. It gets the nickname Devil's Ivy, so like having like a little ivy wall. And then one of my favorite local artists I work with, Rochelle Kripe, this is an original she did for the store. She kind of came in and got the vibe and matched the colors, and so like that is one of my favorite pieces, and I just think all together it just really makes an impact over here.
You've got some pretty prints of it too.
Yeah, I have all of her prints like all around. It's great color and people love them. So.
This is super great. I see some spray for your house and everything too.
So this one is actually Plant Safe. It's a company that dilutes it, so you're able to like shine plants with it, put it in the soil. It helps with like some low grade pest issues, but also just has like a really great scent, and it's nice to kind of clean the leaves of your plants with. Neem
oil is so stinky.
I know, and they actually like do it where it's not like neem oil mixed with something, like it just smells good. Yeah, so then this is a candle company that PF Candle Co. They're a smaller business based out of Los Angeles. And that was a brand the previous owner carried, and she was like, the people in this neighborhood love it, and it has been like one of my best sellers. Yeah, their candles fly off the shelves. I know, it really is like what catches my eye, as well as like ease of care and what I think people might like. Like I think begonias have a tendency, like people think they're pretty hard, but like this tiger paws begonia, it's beautiful and like one of the simplest begonias to care for. Like it is just super easy. So this is like a really good seller for someone who wants an interesting plant, but maybe isn't, on the level of buying a calathea or something like that quite yet.
It is super cute and so tiny. I've never seen one so small.
I just love them. those.
It is one space I have not. When it comes to plant collecting, begonias are like, I'll leave you over there.
I think like begonia maculatas, like they really catch the eye, the ones with the little polka dots and the red backs. And like they're good for a bit, but like without very consistent care and like maintenance, I just think for like the average person who just spots it in the store, it's a little bit of a harder plant to take care of. So that's what I can point them to that like I can give them some tips on, and usually it has pretty good success for them.
That's good to know. Oh, I've like no idea about anything begonia. I'm like, no. These are super fun. Pollies, I think that they're just adorable.
I know, that's like another eye catcher that's like pretty easy overall, just in terms of care. I know there's a few plants I point to, like if someone wants something super easy, I'll go like pothos snake plant. That's kind of in the medium where I don't think it's hard, but you know, they might need a little more care than a pothos.
What do you say when someone's like, I really want a fiddle leaf fig, and you're like, okay, but what about your lighting? Where do you point them?
I will say, with as many people, I'm sure, when I first got into plants, I had a fiddle leaf that did not fare too well. I have just found that consistency is like key with those guys. I like put them into place and I give them like the same care. I don't change anything. I personally like don't even rotate them. Like I just kind of like, because I think even like a move from here to someone's house, they'll like maybe look a little unhappy. But if you just like put it in its spot, give it consistent watering, I like it in not like a fully direct west-facing window, but just like some good afternoon sun for a few hours. Like definitely doesn't want to get blasted, at least right away. But I think they're ones where if you're able to be consistent, I think you can have some success with them.
You know, it's another one of those plants that I'm like, I don't want my heart broken. And I feel like it would be broken so quick. So.
Yes. I will say one thing that I offer that I like love to do is a storefront's a cell phone, and I actually like people will send me like photos and texts, and so it's pretty fun. Like I have had people who will take a fiddle leaf fig home and then send me a photo and be like, what is happening? And so that is kind of a fun part of my job, like when I have some downtime, just to like respond to those texts and kind of help them out. So I like to try and like be there for support like after the purchase as well.
That is so lovely.
Again, I just get a lot of people who wander in because it's a cute shop and might not necessarily know plant care that well. So I like to try and like, you know, help them out, make sure it works out for them.
Do you ever get a plant in that you're like, I have no idea anything about this care? Is that where you like learn at the nursery and stuff?
Yeah, I will say I don't usually do my learning at the nursery. Like if it catches my eye and I don't know about it, I'll like buy it and then I'll like kind of do my research on my own. I don't know. I think the longer I have been into plants, like the easier it is to kind of like guess the care. I always like check and make sure. But I think for the most part, there's definitely some plants that don't fall into that category. But for the most part, like depending on where they're grouped in the greenhouse, they usually have similar care to the plants they're next to.
That makes sense. It actually does make sense. Well, yeah, no, this is great. So what would you say? I know it's always evolving, always changing. Yes. What is your favorite plant right now?
I have two.
Okay, I love it.
I love a lipstick plant, like in bloom. I think it is somewhat underwhelming when it's not. Like it's pretty, but like the blooms are just beautiful. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they have like almost this black velvet casing with like a really vibrant red flower that comes out of it, and it looks like a tube of lipstick. They bloom in like groups, and so you get like 6 blooms off of this like one vine. And so that is just like coming into spring where they're like starting to bloom. That is just absolutely gorgeous. And then maybe maybe a little more rare, but I think they're becoming more well known. I love a Hindu ropoya.
Yes.
I feel like I show them to some people and they think they're like ugly as can be, but there's just something about this plant that I love. I have like 4 of these in my house.
I have one that I've had for a few years now, and that thing is more resilient than I thought. Yeah. It has been through so much and not enough light, and it's still just there. I think
Hoyas are like pretty forgiving in general, but like this variety of Hoya I think is especially forgiving. And I think it's like you said, not enough light. I actually think here in Denver, they do better in my house and a really bright indirect. I think our sun is just so harsh here that like a small amount of light on like a partial sun plant or like too much afternoon sun or anything like that can really like kind of burn it up quickly. So I found like with the harshness of the sun, like a super bright indirect does really well for a lot of even like partial sun plants here.
Oh, that's a good thought. I did notice I'm just starting my collection of Hoyas, and I have a Corniana Eskimo. And I had like a few strands when I first got it. They like fell out, so I just put them in water because I was like, we'll see. Those two already have like the, what are they? The peduncles or creduncles or whatever you call them. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And it's just like hanging out, no grow light, just there. Crazy. I was like, this is wild.
Yeah. It's funny because I think a lot of people, again, this is an area where we get a lot of new people. Like people will move from like, I've had somebody recently from North Carolina, from Florida, and it's just a whole different ballgame with like humidity here.
Oh my gosh.
Like the watering schedules tend to be different. The light is not exactly like someone came in yesterday and she's like from North Carolina and she's like, my Monstera burned up like immediately. And it's because it's just a totally different kind of light here. And like kind of need to like acclimate plants, especially coming from there. A lot of times the greenhouses will do it pretty well for us here, but there's still some acclimation even going into like this is a south facing window. So a lot of harsh direct sunlight. So even acclimating like a lot of sun to the harsh sun here is pretty helpful.
So we're from Arkansas, and that's something that I didn't even like consider. I was just like, yeah, no, they're gonna be fine, like whatever. It didn't even come to my mind, to be honest. And I don't know if it's just we've had like okay spaces, but I've been super blessed because my Monsteras have taken off. Yeah. So I don't know if it's just like Arkansas.
Well, I kind of joke that like I thought I was better with plants than I am when I open the store because like my house just has like perfect lighting and like everything thrives. Like I could do anything and they just are happy. And then I got here and I was like, oh, there is like a little care that goes into it beyond just like that's watering schedule.
Have you ever had a moment where you're like, damn, that plant died? Here in the shop specifically.
Oh, in the shop. Yeah, I mean, I think especially with the way I have them like grouped and everything, there, you know, I might like miss one on watering day and say it's a calathea. It's not going to be doing well by the time I notice. So like it definitely has happened where I will like find something like that. But honestly, for the most part, I don't know if it's just like the more I have grouped together, the happier they are, but they just like tend to be really happy in here. Again, I have like a bunch of grow lights I put in. This window gets a ton of light. I just think this space has really good lighting. The watering of all these plants like on a weekly basis really, you know,
that's a task.
Gets to me.
That is a task. Do you have like the like pump one?
No, I actually just use one of the watering cans over there that I sell. Like I just fill it up in the sink in the back and I go around and I like water them all.
What is your go-to grow light?
I will say I probably have a different answer than like a lot of plant people. I did a lot of research to find lights that didn't bother me in their color. Like I want a grow light that looks like a normal light. Like I don't want a blue light. I want it to have the qualities of a grow light, but I want it to be like full spectrum and be able to like I don't think you would realize these are grow lights like walking in here. Like it just looks like a natural kind of light. Yeah. And then also something like I have over here, which are literally just something I ordered on Amazon. They have different levels of brightness and different colors, but something that's like really sleek and hidden, but can like add some light. Like I have these at my house too. So they're not like maybe the professional grow lights you see at a lot of places, but like they get the job done, and I think they like look pretty nice. Our automated timers that go on for like 9 hours a day, and I just don't have to worry about it.
Easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Super easy. So David, are there any lasting words for anybody out there watching this video that you have?
Yeah, I think we are lucky to live in a place like Denver where we have like a lot of creatives and a lot of entrepreneurs that are really willing to help out. So really just like relying on your community. I know the plant community has helped me. I love supporting the art community and like anyone at your local farmers market. Like you'll find a lot of them here. Keep supporting local businesses, and I think we're really lucky to live in a place that really values that.
Thanks, David. Appreciate that. We're here with David at the Devil's Ivy in Jefferson's Park in Denver, Colorado. We have just done like amazing walkthrough of his shop. So if you're ever in Denver, come on down. Everything will be in the description so you can check out his shop. So thank you, David. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it.